I was going live every day. I said I was going live every day. So it's not my plan to be on here this late, but this what time I got free. Hello, hello, hello. I see y'all coming in. All right, so we're gonna talk about a couple things tonight. I got four things that I want to talk to y'all about. Yesterday we kind of talked about mindset. We talked about how to make some money. Uh, sent you a DM. I never had a chance to check my DMs yet. Funnel Queen. I'm gonna have to take a look in a little bit. Kent, what's up, Kent? So yeah, I talked about a couple things yesterday, but I got four things I want to talk to y'all about today. Let me turn this off. Phone start blowing up. All right. All right. So I'm not gonna wait too much longer. Tonight I want to give y'all some tough advice. This is some stuff that a lot of times I didn't know I was missing out on. What's up, YouTube? I didn't know I was missing on this stuff whenever I first got started in business either. And I want to tell y'all what y'all I want to tell y'all these four things. These is four tough questions that I had to ask myself when I was trying to be successful. Because a lot of times we think, I always try to get people to understand. We always think we know what we're doing and we trying to be successful, but we always got to ask somebody for advice because we don't know what we're doing. If we already knew what we was doing, we would already be successful. So I try to explain that to people, but they don't listen. But one of the things that a lot of people struggle with is just thinking that they're too good. Look, I go to these events, like I go to Grant Cardone events, I go to a lot of people events, and at the event, there's people in the room that's making $50 million, $25 million, $10 million, but there's also people that's just getting started that don't really have a business yet. They might just be what we call a solopreneur. They're the only one in the business, which means you really got a job. But in the room, they'll ask you these questions. They give you a little form, and you rate yourself on that form from like 1 to 10, and it's like 15 questions. So the question is going to be like, how good are you at managing a team? How good are you at scaling the business? How good are you at running ads and stuff like that? So the people in the room all answer these questions, and then we rate ourselves as the business owner. So it's always the people who rate themselves the very highest are doing the least in business. Because we always think that we're doing so much. We always think that we can do so good, but we're not really doing it. So the people who rate themselves at over 100 or 150, their businesses are like less than $100,000 a year. But the people that's making 25 million and $50 million, they have the lower scores. They rate themselves more accurately when they're making more money because they realize more about business. But people, when we just getting started, we always think that we know everything, and we're not doing nothing. It's like they actually one of the questions is how do you man how good are you at managing a team? And the people on the team, the people in the room would say they would give themselves like an 8 or 9, but don't have no team. So how you know you're good at managing a team? So a lot of times we suck as a business owner, and that's just the truth. We just don't know what we don't know. I go through the same thing sometimes. I got off the phone with somebody earlier because they said that they can help you grow this specific type of business to 250 a month, 250K a month. So I'm like, okay, I ain't there yet on that business, so I might as well learn. So I get on the phone with them. I'm always looking to teach. I'm always looking to learn from people. That's one thing you always got to do is be coachable. But I'm always looking to learn from people. So when I get on the phone, I start telling them how I got myself set up. And they're like, to tell you the truth, man, you already rocking and rolling. You already have the systems and processes. Like you already way higher than the people that we try to get people to. They say they can get you to 250 a month, but they really get people from 10,000 to 50,000 a month. But we already doing that. So there's nothing that they feel like there was nothing that they can really teach me. But there were still little things that they're doing to get those businesses from 10 to 50 that I'm not doing in my business. So I can still learn from them. And I don't mind paying them to learn what they're doing because I can always implement it in what I'm doing. But you always got to be teachable and coachable. Um, but a lot of times we suck as a business owner because of that. And our teams suck. So we're not growing. If we have a business and our business not growing, it's either you or it's your team. A lot of times it's not what you think it is. If you already knew the problem, you would already have fixed it and you would already be growing. But you don't know what the issue is. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's either you or it's your people. if you got people. And if you don't have people, that's a you problem. Because if you don't have people, you got a job. If you don't have people, your business is not growing and it's not sufficient enough. You're not making enough money to be able to hire people and grow the business. Your business will only scale as far as your hours. So if you the only one working, you only have your hours. But me, I pay 18 people on payroll. So I have 18 hours times 50 or times 65 because some people work 65 hours a week. So I have 18 people times 50 or 65 hours. That's how many hours I can get done in a week. But if you're working by yourself, you only have your hours that you can work. So you can't get much done. So as a business owner, you got to kind of step it up a little bit. You got to be willing to hire people and take a little bit of money at first so that you can make a lot more money on the backside. When I first started hiring salespeople, when I first started hiring salespeople, I'm training them and I'm like, these people are not as good as me. I can get on the phone and close more deals than this. Like when I first hired my first two good salespeople, I'm like, y'all only doing $20,000 a month, both of y'all together. I can do that by myself, but I would be doing 100% of the work if I did that. So I would rather pay them to make the 20K a month and me do nothing and take the little pay cut because I don't have much to do now. So you got to be willing to take that pay cut because you're building something. And if you try to do it by yourself, it's just never going to work. There's no one business that's been super successful with one owner doing everything. There's nowhere. You look for it and you won't find it. And did you know that 80% of businesses, 8 out of 10 businesses fail, and only 20% of businesses make it over $1 million a year? So since we've cracked that code on how to get to $1 million a year, I want to teach people on how to do the same thing. Because it's unfortunate that 8 out of 10 people that you know that have a business will fail. Their business don't fail. So that's one of the things. We suck as a business owner. We need to get around the people that's doing what we want to do. Like two things that helped me to grow as a business owner and entrepreneur. One was being around people that's making way more money than me. That was one thing. So when I start getting around people that's making $39 million a year, $50 million a year, $38 million a year, and I start talking to them, we would assume that like they're completely different from us, but they're not. They just like us. They just learn something. They just have, and a lot of times you might talk to people who are not as smart as you, but they're making way more money than you, even in the thing that you're doing. But the reason why is because they're not doing it by themselves. They have a team. There's one skill that they learned that you don't know yet. And that's one thing that you need to figure out what it is. A lot of times it might just be having a team. It might just be them stepping out of their own way to grow what's really a business and not just another job. Because I can tell you there's a lot of times where I talk to people who can't do some of the things that I do, but they're making more money than me in the same type of industry. So I always look at that and I'm like, man, what else do I need to learn? There's always something else that we can learn as a business owner. Like me personally, I'm always learning. My team is always learning. Like every day, every single morning, 8 o'clock, 7:30 to 8 o'clock, my team is doing training. And then from 8 o'clock to 8:30, they're doing more training. And then 8:30 to 9, we're doing a regular team meeting. And then 9 o'clock for the rest of the day, they're working. So, but every single morning, they're learning something new. Because just like I need to be learning, my team needs to be learning too. When it comes to credit repair is always changing. That's one of my main companies right now too. So my dispute team is going through more training. Like we're always going through training. Like we can remove bankruptcies in 30 days sometimes, but I want to know how we remove it in 15. Like we always need to be learning something new. And credit repair is always changing. Every industry is always changing. So we want to make sure that we always on top of it. So I pay for education, not just for myself, but I pay for the team. That's another thing. Like training your people and paying your people. There's a lot of people that I know people right now who have somebody on their team that they're not paying what they're supposed to pay to that person. Eventually, that person gonna leave. There's one thing that I heard this successful person say. I can't remember who it was, but he said that one of the reasons why we're able to get and train and keep high level employees is because they pay them double what everybody else is gonna pay them. Why would they not give their all for you if you're paying them double what everybody else is going to pay them? If everybody else is going to pay them $10 an hour and you decide to pay them 20, if you have the right type of person, they will break their back for you on that job, on that business. And just think about it, you yourself. When I was working for other people, my very first job was foundation repair. I'm under houses. I'm jacking up houses with these people, and I'm jumping in these holes. They go in this hole under the house and jack the house up with a jack to get the house level. This is one of the hardest jobs I ever had, and I got paid the least amount of money that I ever got paid in my life working that hard job. It's the hardest job I ever had and the least paying job at the same time. I'm pushing with big wheelbarrows of concrete and dirt, shoveling dirt all day behind a big tractor. And I was breaking my back for them people for that little bit of money, but that was my first job. And me as a man, a husband, a father, I gotta make sure I take care of my family. So I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to make that happen as long as it's legal. So I'm out there shoveling the concrete, shoveling the dirt and everything, and I'm realizing like I'm breaking my back for these people. I can do this myself. Everywhere I go, they always wanted to make me a supervisor anyway, even at that job. They want to make me a supervisor. As soon as I got there, not too long after I got there. So I'm like, there's something I'm not realizing, but there's something in me, just like everybody else. There's something in you, that desire that you have to be an entrepreneur or to be a business owner. That's something in you. Everybody don't have that. Not everybody has that desire or that feeling, or can think that they can even do that. Most people can't think like that. Like I knew people that only thought a hotel they thought hotels couldn't be owned by individuals. They thought hotels was government. Like there's so many things that we don't know that we're missing out on, and that's what's holding us back. The thing that separates us from people that's super successful is that they know something that we don't know. That's all it is. I lie. There's two things. They know something we don't know, and then when they know it, they do it. Because execution is big. I used to do what I call $1,000,000 Mondays every Monday night, 7 o'clock. I'm doing live streams in my Facebook group, on Instagram, maybe on YouTube, and every night I'm giving away free game. I'm giving away, telling you exactly how to clean a credit report, exactly how to structure a business, exactly how to get funding, exactly how to build business credit. And there's so many people that do not do it when I tell you exactly how to do it. So I have people that pay me 5K to learn how to build business credit, but I'm teaching you the exact same strategies on a live stream, and you decide not to do it. So while our execution is failing, is lacking too. So you can learn something and not do it, and that'll be one of the biggest things that'll hold you back as well. So I done got off topic, but a lot of times we suck as business owners, and that's just the truth. We got to be truthful to ourselves. I don't know how many of y'all gonna leave once I say this, but I am a Christian. I read the Bible, and in the Bible it says you got to take heed to yourself. Like a lot of times we don't pay attention to ourselves. We think that we so good, just like I mentioned at the beginning. We one of those people in that room that don't have a lot of stuff going for us, but we think that we the best in the room, and we not. It's the people that's really doing it that value themselves a little, that show that they're a little more humble when they evaluating themselves. They take more heed to themselves. They're like, I have a team of 100 people, but I can still manage them better. So I'm gonna label myself as a Ford. Whether versus the people who have um, one employee think that they should rate themselves a 10 and they only managing one person and their business failing. So like taking heed to ourselves is a big thing. And another thing, one of the other things that a lot of us fail on is believing in ourselves. That's another thing. And when I say believing in yourself, I'm saying this. Well, we'll want to start a business, but we don't. And we blame it on the market. We blame it on people. We blame it. We say the economy is bad. We blame it on all kind of stuff. But really, the truth is, you don't believe in yourself. If you believed in yourself to be able to go out there and make it happen, you would start. You would start the business, or you would grow the business, or you'd be a little more risky with growing the business because everything is risky. Staying at your job is risky. Starting a business is risky. Investing in your business is risky. Buying real estate is risky. Everything is risky. It's all risky. So you just got to choose your risk. You can play it safe and stay at the job, but what happens when the economy does shift and that job go out? I was working in the oil field, so this is a little while after my foundation repair job. I'm working in the oil field. I'm an inspector. I'm driving a company truck. I'm going to these offices, and I'm inspecting pipes that they're using to drill in the oil rigs. So when I get there, they ended up putting me in house. So I'm working for this different company, but I'm in this building, working in this building every single day, inspecting all their parts and stuff like that. So when they go and drill out in the ocean, it's not going to break and it's not going to hurt people outside on the job. So anyway, I'm there. This business been there for like 20 years now. The business shuts down. Everybody that's working over there either has to quit, they get fired, or they have to move their entire family to Houston. Now I'm living in Louisiana at the time. So they had to leave their entire family and go out there, or they had to bring their whole family out there. But they thought that they were safe. The business been there for 10, 20 years. They thought they were safe, but it wasn't. It's all risky. Like a lot of times we think it's a scam to stay to start a business, but it's a scam to stay at a job at the same time. You know, you work for the job every single day to get a $20 raise at the end of 3 months or 6 months or a year. You know, $20 is 50 cents. It's a 50-cent raise. Every 40 hours is $20. A $20 raise after 6 months of breaking your back and hard work for somebody else. Now, in no way am I saying that a job is bad. I'm not saying that a job is horrible. I'm not saying that you should quit your job tomorrow and start your business, because running a business is tough. It's hard. It's not for everybody. Everybody can't do it. That's why 8 out of 10 businesses fail. But what I am saying is the job shouldn't be the end goal. It has to be for some people, because some people can't. They will not be able to run successful businesses. Everybody can't do it. It's not for everybody. But you'll never know unless you try. And having the job, staying at the job is not the end goal, right, YouTube? So staying at the job is not the end goal. You know, and matter of fact, like me, and one of my previous companies when I was in the oil field, one of the things that pushed me into entrepreneurship even more, this was a big turning point for me. And I was already thinking about starting my own business at first. I had been wanting to, but I never knew how. I didn't believe in myself, like I said, and I sucked as a business owner. I didn't know how to run business. So I'm on this job. I'm like I said, I'm the supervisor at this company as well, doing the same type of work. So I'm out of town with my crew, and the boss is over there with us. We at a hotel. So me and this guy from the crew, we start talking. He was like, "Yeah, man, we could start this trucking company." So I'm like, "Well, look, let's go talk to the boss." And we was joking around. So we went to the boss and we talked to him, and we was like, "Look, man, we think about starting this business. You want to invest with us?" This is the owner. And he looked at us. He started laughing. He was like, he started laughing. I'm like, "What you laughing for?" He said, "Good luck with that. I know how much I pay y'all. It'll take y'all forever to start a business." So at that point, I realized that he knew he wasn't paying us enough money for us to really live the dreams, the lives that we really want to live. So what's the point of staying here? What's the point of breaking my back if I'm never going to be able to live the life that I really desire to live? But so many people get stuck in that and think that it's good, and what they really do is they limit themselves and they settle for certain things when they don't have to. Like I don't settle for nothing. I don't know if y'all seen in one of my previous videos, but it don't matter what it is, I'm not settling. Like my wife, we'll go somewhere. We might, if we got it in a rush, we get some fast food or something. And if she won't catch up with her food and they don't give it, she'll be okay with that. She'll be like, "I'm gonna just eat it like this." But I'm turning the whole car, I'm turning the car around. I'm going back and I'm getting the ketchup because you want it like this, and this is how we're gonna get it. We're not settling for nothing. I don't care what it is. Now, some people might think that that's a little crazy, but that's the type of level of mentality you gotta have when it comes to success in business and life. Why would I settle for anything when I don't have to? Something so small as even a person, like people settle on the spouse or the girlfriend or the boyfriend. People settle on that. People settle on their children. They settle on my child doesn't want to do nothing, so I'm not gonna make him do it. Like that's settling. Your child, your children deserve for you to push them. Your family deserve for you to push them. You deserve to push yourself to be the best version of yourself. And why would you settle for anything less? It just don't make sense. But that's what we do a lot of times. And that's what I was doing. I was settling. One of the biggest things that pushed me into entrepreneurship after that, when I moved from that company, I went to another one. I'm in the middle of starting my business, but I got one foot in and one foot out. I'm making money at the job. I'm making like $6,000, $8,000 a month, working almost every day. When they tell me to go somewhere, I gotta go. If they tell me if I'm out of town for a week, and then like you can come back home, and then they call me the day before and like, "Hey, you gotta go somewhere else for 2 weeks," I gotta go for 2 more weeks. I can't say no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna spend time with my family. My children was young at the time. I missed out a lot of time with them because of that. But I was settling. I didn't believe in myself at the time. I didn't know what I could do. I came from the hood. I came from the street. I went to foundation repair. I did road construction, and then I got straight in the oil field after that. And from there, I was trying to start my own business, but I couldn't. So I ended up getting laid off out of nowhere. I knew the company was slow. It was out of me and one other person because I was the newest hire, even though I was a supervisor. And there was one other guy that kept messing up. I ended up getting let go while I'm trying to start my first business. So that's when my credit actually got horrible. My brand new car got repossessed. Me and the family got evicted. I'm sitting down in eviction court. I'm used to driving big company trucks, going out of town, talking to big bosses and everything. And now I'm in eviction court. I'm sitting down with a whole bunch of people on the side of me who don't have money just like me. My credit was getting horrible at the time. That's what pushed me into credit repair while I was starting my first business, which is my real estate company. Started my first real estate company. So, but that thing pushed me because I was 1 foot in and 1 foot out. But when I had to go out, when they pushed me out of the business, that's what made me really start learning more about entrepreneurship and learning how to start and grow a business. This was way 2016, 2015, 16, one of the two. So I didn't believe in myself, but I had to. The only way I got better at believing in myself was by actually doing the thing, whatever the thing is, doing it, and gave me more confidence in it. It's like walking. When you're a baby, you don't know how to walk. You don't feel confident in it, but the more you do it, the better you get at it. The more you stay in entrepreneurship, for most people, as long as you're learning, the longer you stay in entrepreneurship, the better you get at it. That's how it is. And once I got let go and I was able to start my business, I was really able to push myself and go forward because now I don't have nothing holding me back. Now I can't be comfortable at the job. I'm making decent money. I had to go and make it happen. And so that's what pushed me forward as well into making money. And what's up, Lawrence? Making money in the business and becoming successful. Because I would never. And another thing, I would never make the type of money I make now with the little bit of work that I do now with working at a job somewhere else. I would never. It's no way possible. I probably make more money than most of the bosses I had, and I don't do. I really don't do much because I learned how to build systems and processes and teams and everything like that. So um, that was one of the biggest things that pushed me forward. And when I first started my business, there was more pushbacks. There was more things that made me not believe in myself. I closed one deal, and then everything is just slow after that. My very first deal that I closed was a 5K deal, $5,000 deal in real estate. It was a real estate wholesale deal. Very first deal. Before that, I was laid off, got evicted, used our last little bit of money to buy a trailer. Moved out of the trailer into my mother-in-law's house with my whole family. I'm married at the time with two children, and we living in my mother-in-law's house because I wasn't able to provide for my family like I was trying to. I ended up working for somebody that I knew who saw me in eviction court. He was evicting somebody out of his house, and he saw me in eviction court. And he was calling me. He got my number. I don't know how, but he called me and he was like, "Hey, bro, were you in court today?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was." He said, "Did you used to get evicted?" Yeah, we did. And we had just spent our last little bit of money to buy this little raggedy looking trailer. Trailer did not have enough insulation in it. The floors was right. Everything was bad. It was just horrible. But I didn't have no money to fix it up. So I ended up working with him for $15 a day, helping him fix up his properties. I'm like I said, I'm used to being the boss now. I'm used to driving the big company trucks, four-door company trucks, driving around my crew, going to these jobs and talking to people. And now I'm looking at getting a job at the airport, making $2.15 an hour. And they turned me down for that job because I got a felony. Because I used to fight back in the day. So they turned me down for that job, making $2.15 an hour, going from my 8K a month, 6K a month to my $2 an hour job. They didn't let me get it. So now I'm working for $15 a day. And there was just more setback after setback when I first got started. And after working for $15 a day, I was like, I might as well do whatever I can because it can't get no worse than this. Credit was bad. They didn't have no money coming in. I'm over here. I got to take my children with me. I'm working over there just so I can be able to eat, just so I can bring some food back to the family because he would give me food whenever we were working. So, I did what I could. This dude actually even bought insulation for our trailer. So he didn't have to do what he did. I appreciate him for that. And it's just so many times in business where I was pushed back and I had to overcome it. And I had one person who used to be my boss at one of my jobs, And when I was a supervisor, he was still one of my bosses. He got let go from that job too, and he was at a different job. So I closed my very first deal is in my real estate business. My first 5K deal. I'm used to not making making big money. Now I moved to make $15 a day, and now I'm not making nothing. And I closed a $5,000 deal. And then he called me after that, and he's like, "Rich, I know you're a good supervisor. I know your stuff. I want to put you at this job." And it was doing the same exact thing that I was doing at these other two companies. So he's like, I want to put you as a supervisor over here doing the exact same thing that you've been doing. He's like, I'm gonna pay you $2,500 a month, and you're not gonna do a lot of work. But in my mind, I just made $5,000 off a couple of phone calls. So I'm like, it had been probably like 2 weeks since then. So I didn't know my next money was coming in. So I wasn't believing in myself. So in my mind, I was thinking about taking a job, like $2,500 a month. I was making money. I'm not making nothing now. I just made a little bit of money. I thought about it, but I turned it down because at that point I was like, I could go back and do this thing that I was doing before. But the end goal of that is still me being unhappy. It's still me not being able to take care of my family. So I decided to continue working on the business, and I just kept growing and growing and growing. And now we do better than I ever thought I would. And I still want to 10 times whatever we making now every single month. So I'm still working toward it. And it's possible now because I know systems and processes and people and how to manage and running ads and all this stuff. I know how to do all that stuff now, but I didn't know at first. And for me to know what I know now and not give back feels kind of selfish to me. So when you see me online, y'all ask me questions. If y'all see one of my posts and you got a question about it, like you see me, I go to hotels, I fly for free, I do all this stuff for free because I got American Express cards, I got gold cards, platinum cards, like I can fly, travel for free or whatever. I show you how to do that. I can even get you the cards for you to do it yourself. But I want to give back to people. I want people to make $1 million a year. I want people to make money that's gonna change their life. 100K, $100,000 a year used to seem like a lot to me, but it's not. 100,000 a year. Once you start making it, 100,000 a year is not a lot. Once you start making $1 million a year, it's not a lot either. So we think that the money that we're shooting for is a lot, but it's not. How to get started. Now, when you say how to get started, are you looking to start your very first business, or you have a business and you're looking to grow it? Which one are you talking about, Ms. Marks? So that was one thing, me not believing in myself. But I kept pushing, I kept going. My wife was encouraging me at the same time, and she was like, "You can do this." Everybody, me in my mind, I'm not believing in myself. I'm not realizing that everywhere I go, people make me a boss. They make me a supervisor. There's something in me that I could not see. That very first business. So what I want you to do, I'm gonna keep this, and I'm gonna send you a message. I'm gonna send you a DM after this is over. If you want to start your first business, I can show you how to do it. Now we have two different options. You can get a course, or we can do a coaching program. I would recommend you do the course instead, just because it's gonna have all the information in it. And if you're just getting started, there's a lot of stuff that is easy to teach. The tough thing is working on yourself. That's the toughest part because we always think we know what we're doing. It's like children, when the children are young, and teenagers get a little older, they think they know everything. They don't know nothing. Um, but Miss Marks, I'm gonna shoot you a message after this is over for sure. Just make sure you shoot me a DM. Make sure I get it. Shoot me a DM. One of the other things, we talked about two things already. First is you suck as a business owner, and your team sucks. Second is you don't believe in yourself. The third tough thing that I had to realize was that I'm getting the information, but I'm not executing on it. There's so much education out there and information now, and I talked about this earlier, and I said I used to do these live streams every Monday night, $1 million Mondays, and I'm giving away everything you need to know in how to start a business, grow a business, structure a business, clean your credit, get money, build your business credit, showing you exactly how to do it. But there's so many people who did not take any of the steps. So we have the information, but we're not executing on it. And that kind of goes back to not believing in yourself as well. Like, what if I do this thing and it don't work out? That's disbelief in yourself because the thing works. You're just not doing it because you're scared that you're not gonna be able to make it happen. So that's still going back to belief in yourself. but we have all the information that we need. For instance, I had this one lady. I pay everybody for mentorships. So everybody that gets big, that's doing something that I'm doing, I'm gonna pay them. Even if I'm making more money than them, I'm gonna still pay them because I want to know what you're doing and how you're doing it. Because I want to take what you're doing and implement it in my business and grow my companies too. So I'm gonna pay you. I pay everybody. As long as you're doing something and you look like you know what you're talking about, I'm gonna pay you because I want to know what you know. And that's one of the things that projected me forward as well. Being willing to invest in yourself and in your education, paying more than you think you're supposed to pay for education because the return on information is infinite. I can go back now. If y'all see my wall in here, right in front of me, I have 6 big poster boards, like my flip chart right here. um, 6 big poster boards with some of my businesses on them and the processes and everything. It's so much stuff that I learned from getting in mentorships that I can implement now. That the money that I spent for it just is what's the word I want to use? I want to use the word minuscule, but it's very small compared to the value that I got from all of the different mentorships. The big issue with them is that most mentorships don't tell you everything. It tells you A and B, but then they leave you a little carrot for C. Like, okay, I know how to do this and this, but now I need to figure this out. So now I got to pay somebody else who's going to teach me A and C and not B. Because most people don't have everything that you need. So what I try to do now is I create these courses and mentorships and coaching programs that is complete A to Z. So you don't have to go and pay 5, 10 different people. You just give them one person with one community and everything works out. Um, but a lot of times you might have the information, but you don't have the execution. You don't have that hustle muscle. That's what you need. So don't always think that I need to learn something else or do something else. You just got to get started. That's all it is. You know how to do it. You know what you need to do. You just need to start doing it. And I fall short of that too because I have, like I said, I got these boards, these posters in here, but downstairs I have a wall full of boards too of things that I have to do. There's like I have like 20 something different income streams on that one folder that I have not started tapping into yet. Things that I need to do, but I'm not doing yet. I believe it's like 18 things on there, 18 different sources of income that I'm not tapping into. And sometimes I go through the same thing. I used to run a whole bunch of companies. Once I got let go from the offer and I started my first business and I got my first taste of money, I went crazy. I started a whole bunch of companies. I'm trying to do everything and not get nothing done. So I learned that I need to focus on one thing at a time. So that's why one of the things I do whenever you're trying to start your first business is I tell you to get started. To get started, you and I, we have an entrepreneur mindset. We want to do everything. Everything that we want to do will help people and you will make money off of it. But you can't start with everything. You got to start with one thing. So I would say write down up to 25 things that you really want to do and then pick 5 things out of that 25 that you can really be intentional on starting. One of those things out of the 5 is going to be the thing that you start. The other 5 is going to be things that you work on once you have that first thing up and running. Once you have that going, you got your leads coming in. That's the biggest issue. People don't know how to get leads. So once you got your leads coming in and you have a team, like a sales team, it could be 1 or 2 salespeople. With 2 salespeople, I was making 20K a month. So with 2 salespeople, you can still make good money where you can branch off and do that other thing that you want to do. And the one thing that you're gonna start don't have to be the thing that you like the most. Some people say if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. Okay, but what if the thing you love don't make money? Then what? You a happy broke person? I would rather be unhappy in a Rolls Royce than happy in a Honda. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. So you got to do the thing that makes you the most money. So the thing that makes you the most money can pay for you to do the thing that you really like to do. And I done branched off, but one of my last things I want to say is, and I know people are gonna look at this wrong, but I'm gonna say it anyway, is that you got to sell to rich people and not poor people. You can't be looking to help everybody out. It's not time to help everybody out yet. If you're not making the money that you desire to make, if your family not in a position that you desire your family to be in, if you're not in a position that you desire to be in, why are you trying to focus on helping other people when you haven't helped yourself? I see this a lot. A lot of people reach out, a lot of people reach out, and they're like, I've been helping everybody else and nobody wants to help me. Yeah, you need to help yourself. How so? No, you can't help. Nobody else can help you because you're helping them. So who gonna help you? You need to get yourself in position first so that you can help other people. So you got to learn how to be a little selfish. Now, you don't have to be like that forever, but how many people can you really help with the money that you have now or with the knowledge or information that you have now? You might be able to help them a little bit, but what if you start making $1 million a year? Couldn't you help more people? Wouldn't you have the money to help more people? Wouldn't you have the information and the knowledge and the resources to help more people? So focus on yourself for a little bit so that you can grow the business that you really want to grow. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Y'all put a money bag in the chat if that makes sense. When we do $1 million Mondays, I like to see the money bags in the chat. So if that makes sense, I don't want to just be rambling and talking and y'all not learning nothing. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that y'all getting value out of what I'm saying. So if y'all getting a little bit of value, put the money back in the chat. If y'all not getting no value, then all right, perfect, perfect. That's what I want to see. Um, so that was my last thing. If y'all sell to rich people instead of poor people, and they don't have to be super, super rich. If you're selling to people who actually have money, it's easier to close them. If you let's say if I got $1,000 product, that's probably more than 10% of most people's income. Most people, when I was working my regular jobs, I wasn't making but $2,000 a month. They can At that point, I could not afford $1,000 program. But a person that's making $10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $1,000 is nothing. So I got another quick story. Like I said, I get all these points and I fly and I travel for free. So my very first time flying first class for free, I'm sitting next to this guy. I'm coming back from this event in Wisconsin, and I think Miami, matter of fact. And I'm writing down different things that I'm about to do when I get home because I'm leaving this event. I got new information. I got to go and execute on it. So he asked me. He leaned over and he was like, "We both sitting in first class. My first time sitting there, and I'm really like not trying to talk to people." But he said, he's like, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm just writing some stuff down when I get back, man. I'm trying to grow my business." And I just left it alone. So he said, "Okay, what kind of business you got?" I said, "Well, I help business owners get money to start and grow businesses, and we do like credit repair and stuff like that." He said, "Okay." And then he left it alone. So in my mind, I'm like, "Well, you kind of nosy. What do you do?" So I asked him, and he was like, "Well, yeah, I own this multi-million-dollar international hotel construction company." What? He's like, "Yeah, we make $300 million a year, about 300 million a year." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I don't mind telling you what I do now. I thought he was just some kind of nosy person. But anyway, you just never know the type of people that's around you. And for me, when I start talking to him, I'm like, yeah, I'm looking to grow my business. I want to get at least to like $1 million a year at the time because we was not doing that yet. And he was like, "Well, what's your highest product?" I was like, "Well, my highest product is probably like 5K. That's what most that people could probably spend with me is 5,000 at a time." So he was like, "Oh man, that's a hustle." I was like, "What you mean?" He said, 5,000? I don't know if I could do that. I'm like, "What you mean? Well, what's your highest product? I mean, what's your cheapest product?" He said, "You can't do business with me for less than $100,000." So at that point, I started realizing, like, wow. So it's no wonder you're making $300 million a year. You can't even do business with him for less than 100K versus us trying to sell little trinkets, called like paparazzi. I don't know what everybody calls them nowadays, but the little trinkets for like $5 and $3. How many people do you have to sell to actually make money to be successful? Like we trying to sell $3 things when we could be selling $30,000 things or $3,000 things, $300 things instead. It's no wonder we cannot be successful because our products that we're selling, and plus our products that we're selling are for poor people. The poor people don't have the money and they don't want to spend their money because they don't have it. So we got to take the information that we have. So I'm leaving from another event. It's another quick story. I'm leaving from another event. This is how I got connected with my guy that's making 38 mil in my area. So I'm leaving this event. The guy I had brought the event with me. I had brought to the event with me. I had a free ticket. He was there. He started talking to him because the guy sitting next to me, and I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't trying to talk to people. I'm trying to learn. So when he ended up talking to him, he was like, "Rich, this dude making $38 million a year. He want to talk to you." So I didn't see him through the whole event. We get to the airport, and this dude sees me, and he walks up to me and start talking to me. So now I'm in conversations with him, and I'm like, "Look, I want to create a product that's between 25 and $50,000 for people that's making the type of money that you're making, because what I learned from my interaction with my guy making 300 mil was I don't have anything that could even solve a problem for him. So he would never do business with me. Somebody making that type of money would never want to spend $5,000 with me because a $5,000 problem to him doesn't exist. Like it's not nothing big enough. $5,000 is not big enough for him to throw at one of his problems. I hope that makes sense. If I gave him $5,000 today, or if I gave him $50,000 today, that would mean nothing to him. He's making 300 mil. So I learned that my products were too cheap. So when I get to my guy making a 38 mil, I'm asking him, we at the airport, he walk up and I asked him, I'm like, look, I want to be able to create a product that's 25 to $50,000 for people that's making the type of money that you make. So based off of what I do, what could I offer to you that will make you want to pay 25 or $50,000? Y'all will never guess what this man told me. Y'all will never guess what this man told me. This dude's making $38 million. And I asked him, what can I create that you would pay 25,000 or $50,000 for? And people like you. He said, man, if you could just get my DUNS number up, if you could just build my payday score. I'm like, bro, I've been doing that since 2018. I've been charging $3,500 for that, but I could charge $25,000 and $50,000 for it, and I didn't know. I'm targeting the wrong people. These people that's making 38 million, $20 million, $30 million, $40 million, his friends, he's a pastor, his friends who's making the type of money that he's making, because they all got friends making the same money they're making, they would easily pay me $25,000 to $50,000 for a product that I've been selling for $3,500 and $5,000. Missing out, not believing in myself, not knowing that the product that I had was worth so much to people making more money than me. So now I'm in talks with him for him to pay me $15K for the same product. The same product I was charging $3,500 for a long time ago, and he gonna pay me $15K for it. And we're gonna get funding for him. And we're working on structuring his personal credit profile, because even though he's making $38 million a year and he has decent credit, he still can't get funding because funding is hard. They make it look easy online, but it ain't that easy. That's why they have coaching programs for it, because people cannot do it. Funding is hard. So don't let them people lie to y'all. Y'all can go to these banks, apply like they tell you to apply, and get a million inquiries, and then your credit trash. Now you got to pay them for credit repair. It's a it's a Ponzi scheme. People be trying to keep y'all down, man. I'll be trying to pick people up. So through those two altercations, I learned my products wasn't high enough. I don't have nothing to be able to help rich people, which is who I recommend you try to target. Why target people who don't have money anyway? Instead, target the people who actually have the money. And this is what Tesla and bigger companies do. When Tesla first came out, Tesla was charging like premium for their products. The reason why is because now they have more profit. Now I'm selling to you, I'm gonna sell you a $50,000 program versus me going to sell a $5 or $50 or $500 or $5,000 program. I'm selling you a $50,000 program. My profit on that $50,000 program is like $40,000. How much more could I do with $40,000? How much more could I build with $40,000 profit instead of me hustling and hustling and trying to find 10 people to pay me 5,000? I just find one person that paid me 50. So now that I got somebody paying me 50 and I'm making 40,000 profit per person, I want all his referrals. I want all the people in his industry, whatever industry you're in, I'm targeting it because you just paid me 50K. So I want to get everybody else around you. And I want them to pay me the 50K. And now we can create smaller products too. Because one of the things that I learned from my mentor, Grant, is you got to have different products at different price points for everybody that you talk to. So anybody that you talk to and you have a business should be able to do business with you on some level. This little wristband right here, 10x your business. Grant sells these. Grant Cardone, if y'all don't know who Grant Cardone is, Grant Cardone makes like $300 million a year too. Him and one of his partners, Grant's business makes like 175. His partner's business that he's with makes like 125. It's like $300 million a year. Grant sells these little wristbands for like $3. He has a $450,000 coaching program, but he also sells $2 and $3 wristbands. He got a product for everybody that comes through. If you don't have no money, you got $3 for a wristband. If you have money, we got a $450,000 program for you. I'm about to pay Grant $40,000 for another program. I probably paid Grant myself over 100K easily for a lot of stuff. So, That's all I really got to say, y'all. That's my four things. So one, you gotta start taking heed to yourself no more. You gotta realize that we might not be as good of a business owner as we think we are. The next thing is believing in yourself. There's one thing my wife used to tell me all the time. Like, I'm not believing in myself enough. And you gotta believe in yourself as a business owner. The reason why your business is not successful, or the reason why you haven't started that business yet, is because you don't believe in yourself. It's not the market, it's not people, it's not your family and friends, it's none of that. It's you don't believe that you can make it happen. It's all you. Just get it done. You already Another thing was that you already have the information, you just need to execute. So believe in yourself. You got the information, just start putting it to work. It's never going to be perfect at first. If you try to get it perfect, you never get it done. It's better to get started and work it out along the way, because the more you sit down and plan and plan and plan, the longer it's going to take for you to actually get something done. And then when you start actually doing it, you're going to run into problems that you never thought of. So it's better to just get started. One of the things that Grant does, one of the things that a lot of big people do, is that they'll sell you a product before it's even ready yet. Before it's even out, they're already selling it. They're already marketing. They got 50 or 100 people already lined up for the thing before the thing is even created. So just get started. Even people that's making millions and billions of dollars are doing it. They just do it. They might not know every single step of the way. Like, we feel like we got to know every step of the way. We don't. We're never going to know it because we're not doing it. The way that you know how to, the way that you do every step of the way is by actually doing it. So that's what you got to do. You got the information, so you just need to execute. And the last thing is, you want to sell to people who actually have the money. Like, I know people gonna look at that wrong, but like, I'm not looking to sell to the poorest people. I'm not looking to help everybody out when I'm just getting started. You got to learn how to be a little selfish, because you can try your best to try to change everybody's mind and help them to be successful. People that's not making money, but to tell you the truth, a lot of people who don't have the money don't want to. They don't want to invest it. Like, they're not there yet mentally to be able to decide that they want to invest in whatever it is that you're offering. A lot of times that's not the case. You got to go to the people who's already invested, the people who already have the money. And like I said, Tesla did that. At first, their vehicles was a premium. Now they have stuff like to $30,000. They got the Cybertruck coming out. The Cybertruck is like, oh, it's already out, but it's only like 100 some thousand dollars. They have different price points, different products at different price points for different clients. Everywhere that you go, every business that you go to is just like that. So don't think about one service. Think about how many different services you can offer to that one client. For instance, we do credit repair, business credit, funding. We even sell real estate. I'm not a realtor. We just have a real estate investment properties, off market deals. So I can fix your credit. I can get you money. I can get you a property, an apartment building that you can rent out and you got passive income coming in, and I can build your business credit profile with you. So that way you have money to fix up your property instead of you using your own cash or your own credit. So you can buy a property with a credit card and you can fix it up with business credit. And I can help you do every single one of those things. So I got one client, but I can help them four different ways. Fix their credit, get them money, build a business credit, and get them passive income. And that's not even including the program, entrepreneurship program. Like, what if I talked with you one on one every week and showed you how to grow a business from A to Z, how to get from zero to 250K a year? That's a little over 20K a month. What if you had me to be able to teach you that one on one? Like, wouldn't that be beneficial? And I teach you everything that I did from beginning to end to get to over $1 million. What would that do? What would that do for you? Now, I'm not asking you all that question. I'm just saying, like, we have different products at different price points for different people. We have ebooks, courses, coaching programs, all of that stuff. So it don't matter what position you come in life, we can help you some step of the way. My main goal is to get you making money so you can invest in something else or change your life by even working with me. Like, I want to partner with people. If I can find people that have integrity, that have a good product, a good service, I don't mind partnering with you. I'll see what you got going on. Um, so I'll see what you got. But let me know. Y'all got any questions? If y'all don't have no questions, I'm gonna let y'all go. Any questions? I'm asking any questions tonight. So look, there's not too many opportunities that you're going to be able to sit down with somebody who's making seven figures and be able to ask them whatever you want to ask them. People who's literally built seven-figure businesses. But you got one right now. And if you got any questions, I'm going to answer any questions. So whatever you need to know, ask it, and I'm going to answer it. If you got any questions, if you don't, I'm gonna let y'all go. If y'all got a question, y'all want to get on live, just request to go live. I'm gonna bring you on live with me. I answer whatever question you got. I'm gonna give y'all a minute or two to ask y'all questions. How much for your mentorship one-on-one? One-on-one mentorship is you probably don't want to do that one. It's 40K. So it's 40K for 6 months. It's one call every. It's one main call every week. It'll be a Zoom call. We get together. We get on Zoom. I see what you're doing, how you're doing it, and how we fix it up. We got to get you to six figures, 250K per year before the end of that program. They're 20K a month before the end of that program. If we are coming close to the end of that program and you're not there yet, it's not me, it's you. And you don't have to pay it all up front. You can finance it too. But that's the one-on-one. Now, if we're talking about like a group coaching, that's different. Group coaching is different. I think we have a group coaching program for entrepreneurs like 10K, something like that. And like I said, it's not you don't have to pay it all up front. You can do financing options, so you ain't got to pay it all up front. What's the best way to rebuild your credit after bankruptcy? So first, I will want you to get everything off your credit. If you got a bankruptcy, get it off. Everything that was in the bankruptcy, clean it off your credit. Because when you go to the bank and you had a bankruptcy and recently, people will still not want to give you money, even if it's like it's done with. So I would say you want to get that off your credit completely. But if you don't want to get it off, which I still recommend you do, then you just need to start adding accounts on top of it. Start adding more accounts on top of that. If you need accounts, you should be able to go to the link in my bio, and there's going to be a tab that says positive accounts to boost your credit. You can go on there and you can start adding those accounts on there. Most of them should let you add them, and you start building your profile from there. The next thing after you do that, you want to get an authorized user or a trade line. If you're not familiar with authorized users, let's just say like your mom, cousin, relative, somebody has a $10,000 Chase credit card or whatever kind of credit card, and has a $10,000 limit on it. They're not using that much on it, and it's 10 years old. They can let you be an authorized user on that card. You don't have to get a card. You don't have to have access to it, but that credit card information will show up on your credit. It's going to show that you have a $10,000, 10-year-old credit card that you're authorized to use, and that's going to boost your profile as well. That's one of the quick hacks. If you can get that on your profile, a lot of times that can boost your score like 50 to 100 points really fast, just by adding the right authorized user. So that could be one good thing that you can do. But I still would recommend that's not your own primary account though, because it's not your account. That's somebody else's account. So I would still want you to go to that link in my bio and start getting those positive accounts to boost your credit. Click on that link and start getting those accounts. Each one of them, the two ones that I recommend the most is Rent Reporters and Rental Karma. And look, all these accounts on there, I use on my own personal credit, except like one or two, but I know they work. I didn't add them to my credit because I do business funding too. So when I get new accounts on my credit, it stops me from getting business funding. So I don't want to get new accounts. I want to be able to go get money whenever I feel like it. Like if I want to go and get more credit cards from Chase or something like that, I want to be able to go get that without nothing hindering me. So I don't add nothing to my personal side. But if you got to build it up, I'm gonna go in there and start adding all those accounts on there. Start adding that. You can get like secure loans, but if you do a secure loan, I would get a high one, like 10K or something like that, 5K, something like that. And that will be how you build your profile up. It's probably going to take you like 6 to 12 months if you don't have nothing on that. But once that 6 to 12 months is up, you can go and get some personal funding now. You can get personal credit cards like $50,000 to $150,000 in personal cards, and that's going to boost your profile even more. And then after 6 months to a year after that, it's gonna be a little process, but then you can get, after like 4 to 6 months, you can probably try to get some business credit cards at that point. Your business credit card limits are gonna be way better than your personal credit card limits. Quick question: if you have an 800 credit score and your business that been in business for 3 years, we're looking for honey, can you help? 100%, definitely. It depends on what type of business you have. I will tell you what we need to do, but we can definitely help. What I would say is I want you to get on the call with the team. If you go to, just shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM with the word funding, and you should get a message right after that. You should get a DM back, and it's going to send you a link for you to schedule a call with the team. Team's going to be able to tell you everything you need to know. We're going to look over your credit. Because even people with an 800 can get denied. A lot of times people think somebody with a 750, 800 is automatically going to get approved. I see it all the time in my ads. They're like, if I had a 700, I can go do it, but you don't have a 700. You can't do it yourself. You don't know because you ain't got it. So even if you have an 800, you still could get denied. So we still got to look at your credit and see like how is it structured. Because sometimes people have an 800 and they only have like one or two accounts on their credit, which now is considered a thin profile. So people still won't want to give you money even if you have an 800 credit score. So we will look at your credit first. We'll make sure everything's good, and we'll look at how your business set up. If something needs to be fixed, we're gonna tell you what you need to do, and then after that, we get you to the money. Really, if your personal credit is good, the business is structured good, you can have money in your pocket within a week or two. And usually, if we go my route that I like the most with my reps, we could probably get you 100 to $150,000 at just one bank, and then we'll keep going from there. Probably get you like 250 at three banks total, and then we do a regular round of funding after that. So the regular round of funding could probably get you another 80 to $100,000 or something. So we can get you some money if the personal side set up right, the business set up right. We can get you some money. And if it's not, we do everything. So we clean the credit. We help you to add the right accounts if you need to. We can help you to structure your business properly. We do everything to get you in position so you can get the most money possible. And then I bring you to the people to get you the money. I bring you to the reps who do the applications for you, and then they get you the most money they possibly can get you at the bank. So we do everything. But yeah, I want you to DM me the word funding or comment the word funding, and you're gonna get a DM, and there's will be a link to the team, and we'll get you started. We can get you, should be able to get you. I think our calendar's booked for tomorrow, but I can see if I can get it open, and um, and we'll get you taken care of for sure. What other questions y'all got? Any other questions? YouTube, y'all quiet. Y'all got any questions? Any questions? If y'all don't have no questions, I'm gonna let y'all go. But I want y'all to turn y'all notifications on too, y'all, because like I said, I want to give y'all all this game. I want to give y'all everything that I know, as in these little lives. So when y'all got questions, y'all ask them, and to put y'all notifications on because I'm gonna be going live like 2-3 times a day, just different times during the day. I don't have no plan. Just whenever I got free time, I'm gonna just be hopping on, just giving y'all some game. I have a thing that I might do that I think y'all gonna be interested in. I might start a brand new business and show y'all how I get it to 6 figures before the year is out. Something like that. I don't know if I'll do that this year or next year, but I'll show y'all how I make $100,000 business in like a couple of months. It ain't that hard. $100,000 in a year is $8,000 a month. It's $2,000 a week. What can you do to make $2,000 a week? That's what you got to do. You got to start looking at the numbers like that. All right. If y'all don't have no questions, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna give y'all a second. If y'all got any questions, how to start a business, how to grow a business, how to fix your credit, like what laws you should use, what banks you should go to, something like that. If y'all got any questions, y'all let me know. Let me give y'all a couple seconds. I know they got a little delay in this, so sometimes I'll give y'all a little minute. If this was fire, if y'all been on here for a little while and y'all got any kind of gems, any kind of game, I want y'all to put a money bag in the chat. Or put 100. Put 100 in the chat. Put some lights, put some hearts or something. Put a 1 in the chat or something like that. Just so I can know I'm giving y'all some good information. Because I don't want to be on here wasting y'all time. I want to be on here giving y'all game. I want to be on here teaching y'all something that y'all can use to benefit yourself and your family and the people around you. So let me know if I'm doing good. Put a money bag in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Let me know I'm doing something beneficial for you. I see we got a couple of people on here. All right. What is that? Money bags. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, look, I appreciate y'all. If y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, y'all definitely reach out to me, man. Y'all send me a DM. A lot of times, I don't manage the DMs myself. That's what you got to get a team for. I teach y'all how to do all that too. But y'all gotta ask any questions y'all got. I usually put up a story. I've been putting up a story lately. On the story, I want you to put the question that you got. You don't have to ask it on here, but I'll answer it on my next live. I'm gonna go live tomorrow. I'm going live every day this week. So I'm gonna try to go live 2-3 times a day, but it's gonna at least be one time. Like right now is the time I got free, so we got it right now. But if y'all got questions, y'all put them in the chat. Y'all always have y'all notifications on too, because I'm always posting like stories with results or something like that, or some tips or something. So the story that y'all see with that ask the questions, if y'all just got a random question throughout the day, y'all want me to answer it for y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all exactly how to overcome whatever that is. But that's all I got, y'all. So y'all let me know if y'all got any questions. I look forward to working with y'all.